I was at the gym yesterday getting the rest of my steps in on a treadmill because I wasn't at 10,000 yet. And a homie comes up to me. He says, it takes 10,000 times of doing something to actually master it. And then he went on to say, so, if you do something 300 times a year, and that's a low ball, for 25 years, you're a master at something, right? I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty logical. He's like, man, I must be a master of pleasuring myself. And I was like, this conversation took a very different turn that I was not expecting. And I'm going to tell the people of the internet about it. And here you are. What is up, bros, bears, muscle mommies, and everything in between? As always, this is Patrick Full Prima Power. Welcome back to another episode of the 600-pound bench life. We've got our breakfast for the day in the bowl. Yes, we got that dog in me. Us, me. Grammar's weird sometimes. We've got 3 eggs, 180 grams of 93.7 beef, and some ketchup to tie it all together. I've got a bit of a tummy ache right now because yesterday on my rest day, I do Uber Eats on just to make ends meet while I'm looking for a more permanent job, and so I was out and about. I got an order at Apple, which is in the mall. It was like $20 for like 40 something minutes, and I was like, all right, that's good. I need to go to a GNC anyways because I'm running out of protein. So I stopped off at the GNC and I got 4 protein bars, and I was like, this 4 protein bars and a pack of gummies, I guess. It's like healthy gummies, but it's just fiber gummies. And let me tell you what, that was a terrible choice for lunch. 4 protein bars, I'm allowed to have that on my plan. But I think the piece of hay that broke the camel's back was those fiber gummies. I lost 4 pounds yesterday. Let that sink in. But we've got this meal. We're gonna eat it. We're gonna take Buddy for a walk. We're gonna eat another meal. We're gonna go have a bench day, and then we're gonna come home. We're gonna eat. We're gonna do some work, and then we're gonna eat, and then we're gonna go to bed. That's the 600-pound bench life. It's rinse and repeat every day, but every single day we get mentally and more delusional. So let's speed run getting into a mental hospital, boys. I can make that joke. I've been in a mental hospital 3 times. And because I have a condition called I'm bigger than you, I have a second part to breakfast called my carbs. Because the first part was just eggs and beef. There's no carbs in there. Or, I mean, the carbs are minimal. But when you accumulate enough muscle mass, your metabolism gets to a certain point where it outpaces your ability to provide the energy sources for it to like function, or not, like you can go hypoglycemic, which means that you don't have enough carbs in your system in order for your body to do like basic functions. So if you go hypoglycemic, you get nauseated. It's basically it's almost like a hangover, except you're not drunk. Not a hangover, but it's like you're drunk without consuming alcohol. You get dizzy, nauseated, and your energy just drops. So a couple people who have a similar thing is like Eddie Hall. All those really big strongmen, like if you watch the Eddie Hall where he switches his diet with his wife, he has to have a jar of honey on hand in case he goes hypo, because she ate so little and he ate so much. He had to overcome the possibility of him passing out and going hypoglycemic, which is it's a really awful condition. It sucks every time it happens, and so I got to start my day off with these because I was going hypoglycemic in the mornings at the beginning of this block. So I got frozen pancakes. That's it, and it's about 500 calories worth. So it's not that much. I say that, but most of you, that's about a quarter of your calories for the day. But I eat 5,000 calories a day, so it's not. We are on our buddy walk, right, bud? Buddy. I'm trying something new with him that I'm calling treat leading. That was the least perfect time for a dog to walk past us. Doing what I'm calling treat leading. I've got a treat in my hand, and whenever we see a dog, I'm going to put it in front of his face. Make him know, hey, if you yell at this dog, you don't get this treat. And if he walks by the dog without yelling or getting too crazy, he gets the treat. Hopefully it works, because he's super reactive, and being reactive is not cool. One of the things that I find a little bit of annoying is we've trained Buddy to not go across streets if a car is present, and that means every stop sign, we stop at every single like crossing point where we have to cross a street, because sidewalks aren't forever, and sometimes cars will be there. Every time the car's like, no, you go, and I'm like, no, you go. It's his training, you go. And it's like always the little old ladies who are like, I don't understand, you go. And we're like at a stalemate for 2 minutes. I'm like, you go, I'm not moving. He's in a good position, he's staring at me. This is good for his training. And they always give me weird looks. It's just good dog training. Yeah. Where's your face, bud? Yeah, see? It's exactly the faces you want from your dog on walks. Yeah. He's having a good time. So I'm in my kitchen, and I cooked chicken 2 days ago. And I cooked it differently. I put Taj Mahal Mexican spice on it. And now I'm in my kitchen. Nothing's cooked. Nothing's left out. But it smells like Burger King chicken fries. And now I'm craving Burger King chicken fries. That's messed up. Pre-training meal. Bowl. Captain Crunch berries, 200 grams. Fat-free Fairlife milk, 16 ounces. And because I'm thirsty, we got some Prime. Not sponsored at all. I'm just thirsty, and it was in the fridge. I wonder if it's... Are you still good? Yeah, you're still good. Expires in August. Now we are prepping. I forgot my shaker cup in my car. My carb shaker cup, not the protein shaker cup. Buddy's singing you his song. But we're on our way to the gym, pretty much, after I take my pre-workout. And what we got on the docket for today is sets of 7. I think it's a 3x7 at 405. Incline dumbbell bench with 125s. Cable chest flies. Cable chest flies, and then curls. And that's it. Yeah, I got interrupted by a guy trying to sell encyclopedias door to door. It's 2024. Wikipedia exists. Everyone likes to joke online about how they're hashtag Team No Neck because their traps are just so big they don't have a neck. But how many of those homies do you think have ever gotten a trap and delt pump so big that they felt it in the back of their head? Nah, homie. You're not Team No Neck. You're a poser. And that is how our bench day went today. So, we had a 3x7 405 bench day going on today. First set felt pretty good, but we did forget to implement our leg drive in our bench. So it didn't move as well as I thought it would. And given that the previous bench day that we've had was 425 for 3x5, 2 less reps, I was like, we reduced the weight, 2 more reps isn't that much more. And I was like, this is definitely a deload. So admittedly, it did sneak up on me, the difficulty of the day, because I was like, it should be a deload because we're reducing the load. And no. When you get to a certain point, adding 2 more reps with less weight is harder than that, and that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. But set 1, we forgot leg drives. Set 2, we amended that issue, but we were a little bit slower, more intentional, trying to really focus on reinstituting the leg drive because we did so much bench in the previous training block where we didn't have any leg drive because we were doing Larson presses, trying to focus on building that being explosive off the chest. Yeah. Because that's, and also increasing the amount of control that we have in our upper body on the eccentric part of the movement. And I will admit that it did start to come down a little bit slow, which is a negative indicator that we have a lot of inflammation going on in our upper body right now, in the ligaments and joints and everything going on there. So we do have to be a little bit more intentional with our stretching and our accessory movements, which we did do afterwards. But set 2, a little bit better, a little slower, and we did have to stop at rep 5 and kind of zone in on that intentionality. And then rep 6 and 7 were more intentional. The third set, if you notice, I turned the lights off because I was being a super special boy today. Because when you're in meet prep, you get to a point where every time you close your eyes, you start visualizing your own success. If you're a good competitor, you start to visualize your own success a little bit more aggressively. And I was in that zone. I was like, I'm in this zone. I'm visualizing, because I've competed on the American Pro platform twice already. I know the feel of the platform, and I basically know what the crowd's going to look like, what the back room's. I mean, they're changing the location this year, but I've got a good feel as to what the atmosphere is going to be like on that platform, and it's electric. And I started pumping that visual into my brain, and I got a little bit over dramatic, and I put on the song that I wanted my third attempt deadlift walkout to be to, which is it is Duel of Fates by John Williams. And because when Michael Marino, the meet director of the American Pro, when he runs meets, he allows lifters to choose their third attempt deadlift song for their walkout, because he's like, let's put a little bit more spectacle into the sport, have the lifters be a little bit more included in the production. And so everyone has certain songs that they pop off to. Let's let them choose that for their final deadlift, their final lift of the day. And he hires a DJ, and he's got the red carpet walkout, and it's more intense than you would think. You're thinking, oh, I'm just walking out. It's just like any other deadlift. No, it's completely different. And being able to choose what song you have, I have a couple songs on my gym playlist where it's, hey, this is absolutely not what you want to be listening to while you're training. It's good music, but it's not what you want to be listening to, because when you're on the platform, you don't get to choose what music you're listening to, because chances are the meet director just has Du Hast on repeat on their gym playlist, or maybe some Nickelback, or like Three Doors Down, some Kryptonite going on there, because they're old and out of touch with what the current generation of lifters actually listen to. So it's cool that Mike allows us to do that. So I was listening to Duel of Fates, and if the DJ does have access to the lights on meet day, I'm going to ask him to turn them all red, because I am not Qui-Gon Jinn. I am Darth Maul, because I am the villain of the story that I'm writing for myself in the sport of powerlifting, because dots are stupid, and dots apparently are being perceived as the hero, and I want to be the face of the movement towards getting away from coefficients. So bench went really good, went pretty good, felt good. A little bit of the slowness on that eccentric part of the first rep, which I've had a lot of issue with in the past, and it's something that I'm trying to address right now, and I'm believing that the cause of it is lack of flexibility and elasticity ever since, not ever since I tore my pec both times, but it's you got to be able to control the weight as fast as possible, and that's as fast as I can control the weight. So I need to work on the control aspect of everything. So accessories, dumbbell bench 125s, sets of, I think it was 12, 3x12, felt pretty good. Feeling that hypoxic response, especially on that third set. So we're exactly where we need to be on that. The incline dumbbell skull crushers, Drop down to increase the intentionality, like we said that we need to do with our accessory movements and stretching. Drop down to a lighter weight. I forgot what the weight was, but working on increasing the amount of range of motion we have on there. So we're really getting a stretch in that tricep, kind of doing a rehab kind of thing going on there to get a little bit of the inflammation down, because we're increasing the elasticity of the muscle fibers going on there. And then the cable chest flies supersetted with push-ups, trying to increase the range of motion of both of those and intentionality of both of those, especially with the cable chest flies is important to increase that. But all in all, also we finished off with some bicep curls, really low weight there. Yeah, but all in all, pretty good day. The pump was intense. We felt really good with that pump in the back. We felt it in the back of our head. That's something I've never felt before, and I'm really glad with how this training day went. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm in my office and I'm designing this book cover for the book that I'm writing, and I came up with one of two, because I had a little bit of help from AI from what was this, Canva. That's what I used to make all my YouTube thumbnails anyway, so I'm a little bit in tune with how it works. So I looked at a couple of my favorite books out there. There's the Tyrant's Daughter. If it'll load. Of course it's not going to load. But one of my friends wrote this book, The Tyrant's Daughter, and here's her title. And I was looking at how to kind of put your name on it without kind of getting away from the title of the book. And then I also looked at one of my favorites, to kind of the same thing, like what percentage of the book should be like the centerpiece, where's your name going. I also looked at Harry Potter, but the ones that we know and love don't actually have J.K. Rowling's name on it, which is kind of weird. And I also looked at a bunch of these to try and figure it out. The Stand from Stephen King, to see whether or not I should put my full name on it, because the one that I was looking at and basing a lot off of was The Primal Hunter by Zogarth, which is one of my favorite books, and it's got an iconic. That's what that's what it is. You've got the Zogarth, his name at the top, and then you've got the Primal Hunter there. So I kind of took that idea, and I've got two AI images that I'm looking at. It's either this one, which is realistic, the Fate's Red Ribbon. That's the title I've kind of centered on. Or this one, and I think I'm leaning towards this non-realistic one, because the realistic cat kind of, you don't really like realistic imagery in book on book covers is reserved for smut, and this is not a smut book. So we've got Fate's Red Ribbon, Cat, Cities on Fire by Patrick McGuire. And I need to add a little bit, probably at the bottom, that it's book one in the series, because it's one of those that's just going to be ongoing forever and ever and ever. So that's what I've been doing while my race cooks. Boys, we've got the bowl totally within arm's reach, and I'm not just comfily sitting here without it. We've got 400 grams of rice, 245 grams of chicken breast, and on top we've got, it's supposed to be sauerkraut and honey mustard, but instead we've got, it's called hot dog relish. So we've replaced the sauerkraut with relish, the pickles, and it's already got mustard in it. So I was like, this could be good. This could just be pretty nice, because I've been thinking about replacing the sauerkraut with relish anyways. Because the goal of the sauerkraut is to be a fermented food to help your digestion along. And I've confirmed that pickles do count as that. Olives do not. Olives are too high in fat. So I got to eat. And I'm going to start the new season of The Boys. All right, boys, and we're supposed to have beef, rice, and guacamole, but it got a little too late, and I'm not able to do that. So I've got 3 scoops of protein. That's about 130 grams worth of protein, about 45 grams per scoop, so 135, give or take a couple grams. And then we've got the carbs. So we're supposed to have 400 grams of rice, which is about 2 bagels, which is about 6 mini pancakes. And then to follow this meal up, we're supposed to have 2 bagels, which is about 6 mini pancakes. So this is technically on point with program. I'm kind of scared that my mom's going to come down and be like, "Are you sure that's healthy?" It's not for normal people, but technically, but I'm not going to video me eating all this, because I'm actually going to go somewhere else where I can't video. So I'll leave you with that. Just leave you with the thought that I'm eating 12 mini pancakes and about 135 grams of protein. Yeah, I'm happy with my life choices. Like, comment, subscribe, and share too. Sharing is the most important one, but the others are also nice.